Well, sweet potatoes are another labor-intensive crop, and North Carolina is the top spot for production. Southeast Produce Weekly's Chip Carter learns more about this year's crop.
When it comes to North Carolina produce, sweet potatoes are king, and I guess if sweet potatoes had a queen, it would be Kelly McIver. She's the executive director of the North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission. Kelly, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Chip.
So the North Carolina sweet potato industry is huge. People would never think that one state would control, I believe, more than half of domestic production of a crop?
We do. North Carolina grows approximately 60% of the nation's supply, and we export about 40%.
So now, as this industry has grown and matured, you guys have had to figure out ways to try to get your arms around and market and promote that industry and let people know it's all North Carolina grown and take advantage of some of that home field advantage. What are some of the ways you're able to do that?
Telling a story. The story of the farmer, the farmer to the fork. It's been very effective, and it touches, any consumer out there when they have some type of connection to a family that works so hard to put food on their plate.
Now, I believe NASH actually had its roots years and years ago, came out of the old North Carolina's tobacco history, and a lot of these guys turned around and realized that as demand for tobacco dropped, that same land was great for growing sweet potatoes.
Yeah, it's been really good. As far as in a production standpoint, the same kind of equipment used for tobacco in the same row spacing and the same transplanters goes with setting sweet potatoes. So you really in the infrastructure, and the farmer didn't have to really have a lot changed. And over time, the demand for sweet potatoes, all the health benefits and everything that comes along with it, it's just been more demand. So for them, it's worked out really well.
Even though they've been growing sweet potatoes in North Carolina for as long as there's been people in North Carolina, at this level of commercialization, there's been some growing pains in recent years.
Yes, if anything, you can kind of grow too fast, and then grow, and that's what you're saying in growing pains. With everything that's ramped up in the acreage and the infrastructure, sometimes you really have to set yourself and have a good pace.
We've seen an increase in competition. We have had some very difficult weather conditions that have really just hurt us, but we're pushing through.
What's the general sense in the air? Are people excited? Are they optimistic? What's the thought moving forward?
They're excited. They're always excited. When you see consumption rising, when you see the interest in the product rising, there's a lot of excitement in the air.
Sweet potatoes have become a sweet deal for North Carolina indeed. They'll keep growing and going around the world. In Elizabeth City, I'm Chip Carter from SoutheastProduceWeekly.com, reporting for RFD-TV.
Thanks, Chip. Now, the North Carolina Sweet Potato Commission represents more than 400 growers along with packers, processors, and associated industries.